Hello, my name is the Whistleblower against Clark County School District. Just wanted to give, this is my third video, and now this video I want to show a timeline. Now I was working at Treem Elementary, the Clark County School District, and this is what happened to me. Now all of my videos are alleged, but everything was turned and shown to the Clark County School District's supervisor, assistant supervisor, head of HR, and 3 lawyers at a meeting. So this is what happened. As a second grade teacher, I come in around October 17th, and 3 days later, as I was teaching second grade, the principal, assistant principal, and head of the HR department came in and basically asked myself, my teacher's assistant, to change grades and change all F's to A's and B's. Because for 2 months, the kids in the class have scored nothing but F's. In fact, the sub who was doing it the first 2 months stopped giving tests, which I'll show on my timeline right about in this period here. And for a whole month would not give me more tests because they couldn't do no better than F's. Now, for the students, I want to say is they're very good students and could have learned and got a lot better grades, but the curriculum at the school was just too hard. It's basically aligned to maybe 4th graders instead of 2nd graders. So I'm going to show you a timeline. So at this time, when we refused, we refused for 2 weeks. And so finally the teachers started to make fake tests, excuse me, not the teachers, but the admin started making fake tests and fake grades. Now, starting from the start of school, which is in August, all the way to September, all the way to about the 2nd week of October, there was nothing but F's. So around the 2nd week of October, which is when I came and everything, is when the admin decided they wanted to change the grades to A's and B's. So right at this point, nothing but F's. And then right again when around 10:15, they started changing the grades, and they erased all these grades and made these, starting around October the 15th or 17th, nothing but A's and B's. Mostly A's. And they did that for the next 2 weeks. Now myself, once I learned that, of course, I would not give tests and I gave no grades. And after about 2 weeks, what I decided to do is, and since the report cards were coming out, where they were going to show all the way from the start of the school to right here, and from right here, nothing. They erased all of this. And they just started putting in the fake grades of nothing but A's and B's. Now, I never gave a test or never gave any grades. So at the end of the 2nd week, I went ahead and called my union rep, told them what was going on. And when I got acknowledgement of that Friday that they did give the grades and report cards and the fake grades out, I showed my 2nd grade supervisor. She was astonished and very mad. I also showed the fake report card, tests, and grades also to the rest of my 2nd grade level. They were astonished also. In fact, when the report cards were handed out to the students, they were jumping up and down, yelling, "I have never made A's and B's before." Now a little later, I will show you those grades and everything, which I showed in my first video. So, from August to September, all this was erased, and starting around October the 15th to the 25th, nothing but A's and B's. Now, when I left on that Friday after report cards, I didn't come back for 2 months. I took off leave. Myself and my union member watched the admin, that's the principal, assistant principal, head of HR, head of the ARL Department. We watched them put in the grades when I was there. But myself and my rep was watching them put those grades in while we were sitting in the office. So they put about 10 grades in to fill in this part of nothing but A's and everything. Now here's the grades. Remember, from August all the way to October, around the 17th, nothing but F's. And right around the 903, meaning the 9th month and around the 3rd, that's when they started giving the fake grades. Now at this time, the teacher, the sub that was originally there, quit giving grades. So there should be no grades here, much less these erased F's and all. So here's the students, and I just got X's because I did not put their name. And they were a test of 22 questions, only 12, that's an F. Question of 22 questions, only got 11. Now this is 12, 11, 10. This is the best, 12 out of 22, that's an F. 11 out of 22, nothing but F's. Only answered 4 out of 15, nothing but F's. And tests that were even 2 out of 10. 2 is the best they had, nothing but F's. Now here comes the timeline with them with the fake grades. All of a sudden, starting in around 9:03 and all the way to 10:18, nothing but 15 questions. Everybody got 15 out of 15. Isn't that amazing? 20 out of 20, 4 out of 4, 11 out of 11, and 10 out of 10, and also 3 out of 3. Now, innocent, and they're kind of peculiar. How could all the students get the same grade, especially when it's 15 out of 15? Here they could make 11 out of 22, even 2 out of 10, and these were best. So some of these 11 out of 22, they were even worse. Something like they only made 4 out of 22, but these are the best grades. And they averaged, all through here, all the students averaged only about 55%. Now that's enough. And some of them, the grades had to be moved up, and still nothing but F's. So how could they make all F's and everything, and then all of a sudden become geniuses? Why? Because grades were changed. Now, when I went back to get my stuff, and I talked to the supervisor, she said after I left, she went to the principal, assistant principal, that was standing outside the room. She told them that they knew what they did in my room with the changing of the grades, erasing grades, and making a fake tests and fake report cards. The principal and assistant principal pointed their finger at her and told her to get back to her room and mind her own business, that they would take care of my room. And for doing that and acknowledged she knew it, from that time on all the way to the school, they harassed my supervisor and all because I found out about it and everything. In fact, to this day, after the school was over with, she had to go to a different school and all. Now, myself and my union lawyer brought this attention to the head of Clark County School District, where we met with the supervisor was in one room listening on the phone. In the room we were in was assistant superintendent, excuse me, and also 2 lawyers, head of HR, all those. And all they did for me was to just transfer me to another school. They kept the grades just where they were and everything. So for them to commit fraud like this, and I posted my video all across the nation, all the way up to Nevada education up in Reno, they did nothing. Clark County School District, nothing. Now this isn't the first time I've known that. I went to 5 different schools as a sub. Every one of them had a piece of paper with some type of software they used to do grading and all of them were changing grades. I brought this to the attention of Clark County School District. Again, nothing is being done. So the conclusion of this video is, I've shown you a timeline. If you go back to my first video, you also be able to see all the test papers I showed, all this and everything. Is I have reached out to Clark County School District. I've reached out to the head of the department up in Reno. I've reached out to the FBI. I've reached out to many services, including the Attorney General of Nevada. Nobody wants to do anything other than bury this story. I need for some people to get involved, because this is not just one incident. This has happened and has, as I find out through different teachers, this has been going on for at least 10 years. Now, I've also seen other reports, even like the Atlanta scandal and all. And I found out that out of 33 states all across America, there's cheating involved in changing grades. Parents, we need to do something about this. And we have some very good teachers out there. The admin seem to all stick together with false narratives and everything, even changing observations and trying to get teachers to cheat. And if they don't, well, they'll just put a bad observation on it, and it carries on. That's how our school department is, with all our principals and all of our admin all across the nation. This needs to stop, of course. The curriculum is way too hard. Teaching should go back to the way it used to be. We brought up inventors, presidents, and all just by letting teachers teach, instead of trying to change grades and everything just so they can get some funding. These kids went on, and now they have to go to the next grade not knowing what they didn't learn in the second grade, because the grades were all provided for them. And this is how it starts and everything, to where eventually they get to higher grades and know absolutely nothing. They get disgusted, they get picked on, they get bullied, and some even quit. So I'm trying to reach out there to find a lawyer that'll take this case, and let's get some results, and let's change what's happened across America. Because if you don't, it's going to continue, because it has continued, because no one will do anything. And the State Department and all the way up to Washington, D.C. are all trying to bury what's going on, so the parents will not know what's going on. So I'm reaching out. I hope you look at my first two videos I've shown on YouTube. This will be my third one. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope somebody gets involved. Thank you.